Welcome back to my garage of dreams. And as I promised before, we're going to start working on the 1970 Roadrunner. It's a car that needs a lot of love and a lot of attention, and we're going to try to get some stuff done on the frame today. I've got some of the Eastwood internal frame coating with a long straw where you can spray it up inside. I've already pressure washed out the frame rails to get some of the mud and muck out of there. And so now we'll go ahead and try to go ahead and spray the inside of the frame rails to preserve them, because they are in really good shape, and I hate to see them get damaged any further from where they're at. Also began the process of detailing the engine bay, and I did spend several days wire wheeling the inside of the engine bay, and finally got it in epoxy primer so that we can get ready to put some paint on it and be able to then move forward with putting the engine and transmission back in the car. So looking forward to that. Get this thing back up on its wheels. The K-member is out of it, as you can see. I'm going to be doing a disc brake conversion on it, and in the process of putting it all back together. So I'm excited to get all those things done and get it back on its wheels, so hopefully it can start to drive around on its own. That'll be a lot of fun. So let's go to the frame and get it up in the air and see if we can't spray some black inside. Okay, we got her up on the lift, up in the air, and I've taken some time off camera to go ahead and put some tape across all the holes on the frame so that this material won't be dripping out all over the place, and it'll stay inside the frame rails as much as possible, and also keep it from layering out over all of the frame rails where I got to sand it off and all that before I can paint. So try to keep that clean as much as possible. Still have to do these outer wheel wells, clean those all up for paint a little bit later. So, but I wanted to go ahead and get this step out of the way first, doing the front frame rails, the cross, what do you call it, torque box or torque frame cross member, I guess you call it, and also going to do the rear frame rails. So we'll start off, let me get set up here, and we'll start with the front. This is my first time using this Eastwood product, internal frame coating. Pretty confident it's a good product. I definitely like the design with the long straw that you get with it to be able to feed up into the frame and spray from the inside, and it's supposed to fan out, give you a good pattern in there. So we got to shake the hell out of this stuff, and then we'll start laying some in there and see how it works out. I just got to thinking I should put these K-member bolts in here so that this paint won't run out through the threads and gum up all the threads on here. So let me put these 4 bolts back in here. Go ahead and tighten these up a little bit more so they'll be sticking up in through the hole. Okay, when you take the cap off this, it's got a spray nozzle where you can spray it on the outside. Then you have your straw, so you can take the black sprayer off and then put your straw on here for spraying inside the frame rail. And what I'll do is I'm going to start at the front up here and feed this in. Oh, it's just curling up too much. Doesn't want to go straight in like I would like it to. I want it to be able to go straight in and then pull it out as a spray, so it'll coat the entire inside of the frame. So I'm trying to go through here and straighten this tube out, hoping it'll take more of a straight path here. I'm hoping I can just use one tube for maybe a couple cans here. I've got 4 cans and 4 tubes, but let's try to preserve those if I can. Alright, let's see if I can get this thing to feed up in here again. Getting about 12 inches in there, and then I'm running into something that's not allowing it to go through. Since the tube is curling, that's not helping. Let me see if I can get it up in there. Okay, I found something that worked. Saw a recommendation that you can tie your tube to a piece of metal, and that way it's a stiff rod, and that way your tube doesn't curl up inside the frame rail when you're trying to stick it up in there. And so yeah, that worked, although it was only went in there kind of in one section, so I guess there's a big block or something up in there where the K-member bolts are at that kind of almost fill up the hole in there, the frame rail. But anyway, got my can shook up and my tube's up in here, so let's give it a spray. Okay, I pulled out a little bit too far. Anyway, you know that. Okay, the next hole, I need to, I guess, work from the middle up toward the top of the frame up there. I guess I'll do the passenger side and front off a little here. Did a little better on that one. Now let me find my midpoint here. Okay, I think I got the front rails done pretty well. Now I'm going to try to work on the torsion crossover. See how that goes. Alright, I think that coated it pretty good, and we'll move on to the rear frame rails. Alright, I used up most of the first can on the front frame rails. There's still maybe about a quarter of the can left, so I'm going to start on the rear rails, and we'll go from there. Make sure the end of this thing is clean, so it sprays good. Probably should have wiped it off after I finished painting, so that the hole wouldn't be all clogged up. Just trying to scrape off the end of this thing, get the paint off of it. Alright, let's see how it goes here. I'm going to do this front section here first. It's going to be a mess because it's open there. It's spraying good. Okay, got a pretty good spray. It's really liquidy and pretty thin paint. I thought it would be a little thicker consistency, but I'm trying to hit these rear frame rails pretty good. There's lots of inner braces there where the shackle braces go into. I like this hose though, it really is nice. Really get up in here. Really give everything a nice coating. Okay, I think I just killed my can. Yep, I just finished that can. So alright, let me shake up the second can. We'll continue working on these rear frame rails. Alright, going to hit the passenger side frame rail in the rear. Let's get up here in the front. You can see right there, it gives a really nice big spray. Kind of 4 different directions it sprays out. It's really cool. Stinks like hell. It's got to be good, right? Alright. I can get up in here. Way up in the rear frame rail up here. Really good coating here. Okay. Worked out really well. Alright, let's switch around to the back side of the axle. Alright, Shaking up my second can here, getting ready to do the very rear portion of the frame rails behind the axle. Kind of looking at a game plan of which way to go. I think I'll start up toward the arch over the axle first, and then work my way toward the back. But, so far, really pleased with how this Eastwood internal frame coating system works. So let's see how we do up here toward the front. I'm all the way up to the top of the arch, so that's good. Okay, got a lot of rundown. Okay, let me go to the middle here and work my way a little bit more toward the front. See if I can get this in there. Kind of bend my rod a little bit so it'll hopefully feed up in there a little farther. There we go. Alright, let's try from there back to the midpoint. Okay. Spray up there. And back here's another hole. Up here, seems to be a brace up in there. There we go, across it. So, another spray. Okay. Now guys, head toward the back. Seems to be a cross brace or something right there. Not too far. Something on the inside I can go through. Okay, there's a hole right here, a square hole right above the shackle. And I can fish it in there farther to the back. Brace or something in there, so spray there. Spray what I can. Let me take this tape off here, maybe I can get some more in there. It seems to be behind that brace I keep hitting. Okay, there we go. Okay. Got this side good. Alright, let's hit the driver's side. Okay, driver's side, rear side of the frame rail, behind the axle. Let's try to get all the way up into the arch up there. Alright, excellent. Alright, spray it on back. Scroll there. Okay. Let's go through the middle. Up there. Okay. Other section here. Back. Go in above the shackle here. Or whatever this is, exhaust hanger, I guess. tape off, get in this hole here. Oops, try to work toward the front from here. Okay. Running out the bottom, so I guess we got it pretty full. Quarter can lift. Alright, I think that's good for the frame rails. I think they got coated up nice. So now we can finish out cleaning up the outside and getting that all painted. Alright, see what's next on the agenda. So my overall impressions of the Eastwood frame paint is it's very good. It goes on smoothly. It's not super messy. It is a little runny at times, but the long hose really helps get into all of those nooks and crannies everywhere along the frame, and it covers quite a bit. I mean, I did 2 cans to cover the full front frame rails, the torsion support cross member there, and the full rear frame rails. And also I went around these like outer braces and anywhere anything was closed up where I could get in there and spray a little bit in there to help seal those areas up. So I'd say it was a win, not too difficult. Just taping up the holes was a big help. Otherwise it would have been running out everywhere. I did get a little bit of overspray here and there, but nothing too bad. So alright, next thing from here will be kind of cleaning up the engine bay and getting it ready for some paint. Alright, talk to you soon. Bye.